Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Assassin's Creed Revelations. By my knowledge, this is the third game in the Ezio saga, as it's called, and the fourth game in the Assassin's Creed series, and I said I was going to play through them to complete the Ezio saga and see what the hell was going on with him. So, we're here, let's see what happens here. I will say this, I don't have any access to any of the extra content or DLC or anything like that, because unfortunately I downloaded this after they cut off access to all of that. So unfortunately, this is just going to be base game entirely, nothing special or fancy with it. So, actually, in just a moment, let me check something. I think, yeah, I should be fine. So, anyway... Let's go ahead and give this a go and see where the story's going to go now.
We can keep him like this for a few days, maybe a week.
Call ahead. Tell him we're on our way.
As soon as we're clear.
I recognize one of those
Desmond
voices.
Miles. Your life has changed so much in so little time. 2 months ago, you were pouring shots for bankers and celebrities. But now look at you. You're an assassin. One of us. One of the good guys. Isn't that nice? Men and women dedicated to protecting and preserving human life and liberty. Not like those Templars. Cold and calculating autocrats, drunk on power, obsessed with order, all that. We're doing our best to stop them. Yeah. Doing our best. But you remember all this, right? You remember the Animus, the machine we used to unravel genetic memories and relive the lives of our ancestors?
Mm-hmm.
First, you were Altair, a stoic 12th century assassin
Murderer.
from the Holy Land. Then, you were Ezio Auditore, a wealthy Italian with charisma and a talent for revenge. So, what do you three have in common? That's right. The Apple of Eden. That strange artifact left behind by those people. The ones who came before. You know the Apple's power. You felt it for yourself. Oh, it's been fun, hasn't it, Desmond? But that's about to change. Your mind is fragmented, falling to pieces. And if you don't find a way to wake up, you may lose yourself. Forever.
Okay,
Goody.
I shut down the Animus monitoring system to free up a lot of memory, but even like this, it's still risky.
Desmond will be fine. The partition worked, the Animus is stable, and his signs are good.
For now. But this was built to recreate memories, not simulate entire cognitive processes.
The Animus will do its part, and Desmond will do the rest.
Will it now?
What's happening? I can't move. I can't. No!
Oh, welcome to, I guess, a mindscape, Ezio? Oh god, that's... Is that supposed to be happening? I don't know if it is or not, but oh god, if it is, that is... That is absolutely horrible. It has to be intentional.
Just walk right past me.
16?
No, they didn't tell you my name.
God damn it, I'm still in the Animus?
Quite a shock you suffered out there.
Rebecca! Get me out of here.
They can't help you, Desmond. You're a broken man. Your mind, it's... broken.
Broken. I feel fine.
So did I. Look at me now. Let's talk, buddy.
No, the glitching is still happening. Oh, crap. Is this gonna be a regular thing with this game? God, I hope it's not.
Walk with me.
What is this place?
It's nice, isn't it? We're in the guts of the Animus. The original test program. No memories here, just basic physics, weather simulations. Hello, world.
Hold on a moment.
You're lucky someone up there had the sense to plug you in here. It saved your life.
Saved it from what?
Right now, you should be sitting in a hospital ward, drooling and chewing on your tongue. For now, the Animus is keeping you intact. Keeping all your ancestors from collapsing into one big mess. But if you can't find a sync nexus, all those personalities will smash together. And that won't be pretty.
This can't
A sync
possibly be what's
nexus.
supposed to be happening here.
I'm getting there. Hold on. There. That thing is your way out.
You're screwing with me.
Here's the problem. Your brain is hash. Too many ghosts in your head, too many voices. So how do you fix that? You claw your way back into the stored data, you find unfinished memories, and you crack them open. Finish what you started, until your ancestor has nothing left to show you. That is a sync nexus. And when you find it, the Animus can separate Desmond from Ezio and Altair and send you home. Back to your body.
How do you know all this?
Because it happened to me. But my body, it's worm food now. So I'm stuck here. A word of warning? When you step through there, everything changes. Nothing feels normal. But you are still in control, and it's up to you to find your way out.
Right.
If you hurry, you might make it back in time for Lucy's funeral.
What?
Oh yeah, now you remember that.
I thought you knew.
Lucy. God. I'm so sorry. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. It was that voice. Juno. She took hold of me. She made me.
Yeah, your arm's still glitching.
What have I done?
Okay, I have no idea what the hell is going on with this. It's like certain directions it is happening, other directions it's not. I don't know what's going on. Let's just get through this. Ubisoft presents a horrible glitchy mess. This worries me immensely. Okay, various different Ubisoft groups. I get it. How many? Okay. There we go.
Claudia, my dearest sister. I have been in Acre a week now, safe and in high spirits, but prepared for the worst. The men and women who have fed and sheltered me here also give me warning that the road to Masyaf is overrun by mercenaries and bandits, not native to this land. What this could mean, I dread to guess. When I first set out from Roma 10 months ago, I did so with a single purpose, to discover what our father did not. In a letter written the year before my birth, he makes mention of a library hidden beneath the stones of Masyaf Castle. A sanctum full of invaluable wisdom. So what will I find when I arrive there? Who will greet me? A host of eager Templars, as I fear most strongly. Or nothing but the whistling of a cold and lonely wind. Masyaf has not been home to the assassins for almost 300 years now. Can we still claim it for our own?
Hold on.
Are we welcome there? I am wary of this fight, Claudia. Not because I am tired, but but because our struggle seems to move in one direction only, towards chaos. Today, I have more questions than answers. This is why I've come so far. To find clarity. To find the wisdom left behind by the great Altair. So that I may better understand the purpose of our fight. And my place in it.
We'll see what happens there. But apparently, nothing good here.
Should anything happen to me, Claudia, should my skills fail me, or my ambition lead me astray, do not seek retribution or revenge in my memory, but fight to continue the search for truth, so that all may benefit. My story is one of many thousands, and the world will not suffer if it ends too soon.
Yeah, it doesn't look like him. Is that supposed to be him? Because it doesn't really look like him. Okay, I guess it is him. Despite it not looking at all like him. Please tell me it's not oh god, it's still glitching. Oh god. Please tell me there's something here I can do to fix this. Okay, that fixed it. Alright, and now we have things in the database. Altair ibn Lahad. If one man was responsible for changing the face of the modern assassins forever, it was this guy, Altair ibn Lahad. Born in the Holy Land in 1165 to parents he hardly knew, into an order he did not choose, Altair nevertheless proved himself a devoted pupil and capable fighter before he was out of his teens. In 1189, just as the Third Crusades were gathering steam, Altair shunned even his attentive mentor, Al-Mualim, by almost single-handedly routing a wave of Crusader soldiers from the steps of Masyaf Castle. From that day forward, Altair's name was known to all assassins. Over the next 2 years, his reputation as a stubborn but deadly fighter eclipsed every minor detail of his mysterious life. Loved by few, but admired by all, his impeccable talents were the source of both his incredible successes and his overbearing arrogance. This was only half the story. Since youth, Altair had shown signs of possessing a rare sixth sense that allowed him unprecedented access to the emotions and intentions of his opponents and allies. Dubbed Eagle Vision by his fellow assassins, Altair honed and perfected this sense in secret, always wondering if this curious ability that set him apart from the rest would prove a liability. Thanks to the memories stored in Altair's 5 Masyaf keys, we can now get a good glimpse of the man himself, instead of settling for vague glimpses through the Templar's, frankly primitive, Animus 1.28 Animus Avatar projection system. Uh-huh.
Get him, you fools! Kill that bastard!
Sequence 1, A Sort of Homecoming. Do we have anything else around here that we can look at? The map doesn't help us out very much. Anything in the inventory? Probably, yeah, nothing. I have nothing. Outfits, not even anything there. Well, we have a few of these entries. Subject 16. Hello, I'm Clay Kagsmarak, and I'm a number. Subject 16. Yes, we're all reducible in the end, right, 17? Just numbers. Ones and zeros. I proved that. The day before I offed myself, I created this little artificially intelligent construct talking to you now. Using the Animus and its incredible simulation capabilities, I copied myself, snapped that copy into 24 pieces, and scattered them around these databanks. You found them and you pieced me back together. Not bad, eh? Teamwork. Word on the street, of course, is that Clay, the real Clay, the assassin, Lucy's teammate, he isn't alive anymore. He split his wrists, if I heard right. Damn shame I never got to see that for myself, but I can imagine. My head was... Pardon me. His head was swimming with images of his last moments for weeks, like he was rehearsing it, planning just how he'd do it. I hear he even got around to finger painting on the walls of his cell before checking out. Is that right? Mad bastard, I miss him. I really do. Sorry, this is getting confusing. The real Clay is gone, and I have taken his place. Good enough, right? Good enough to still call me cousin, right, Desmond? Very distant cousins, you and me, because somewhere back along our extensive family chain, we both have Ezio to thank for the gift of life. Both of us are related to him, and both of us have had nice little jaunts through his memories, although I had access to far fewer memories than you did. Figure that one out. I guess that's why you're so special. You're the convergence of several amazing bloodlines. But not me. No, I was just a promising lead, a stepping stone to get to you. Oh well, I played my part. What more can a man say? Very little, it turns out. Masyaf. Hidden away in the Orontes Valley in what is now Syria, Masyaf was the headquarters of the Assassin Brotherhood in the Levant. Its proximity to Jerusalem, Acre, and Damascus made it the natural center of assassin influence in the region. By the Third Crusade, Masyaf had become the political, cultural, and geographical center of the Assassins. A training ground, an impenetrable fortress, a sanctuary, a vast library, and a base of operations for the Brotherhood. Masyaf was all of these things. Yet the public's perception of the Citadel was far less complete, for in those days the Citadel and its inhabitants were kept isolated from the larger populace. Life within the walls of Masyaf was Spartan and strict, consisting of many regimented rituals and challenges. And it was an exclusive group. Assassins, mostly men, were born into the order, not recruited, and trained from an early age to obey their mentor and adhere to the creed. In 1191, the Crusader commander Robert de Sable laid siege to the city and the castle. The assassins withstood this assault, but briefly succumbed to another enemy later that same year, when Grand Master Al-Mualim betrayed the Brotherhood and briefly seized control of Masyaf using the powerful Apple of Eden artifact. His defeat at the hands of Altair ibn Lahad marked a turning point in assassin ideology. In later years, the assassins gradually abandoned many of the unnecessary rituals enforced by Al-Mualim. Over time, Altair, now a mentor himself, attempted to transform Masyaf into a place of learning and healing, opening the Citadel's doors to recruits from around the world. And for a time, he succeeded exceptionally well. Cappadocia. A rocky region in Anatolia, now the Nevşehir province of central Turkey, Cappadocia is an area best known for its sparse and rugged terrain and stunning rock formations. Because of this unique geography, Cappadocia has often existed apart from the empires that grew and flourished outside its borders. Alexander the Great, for instance, was unable to subdue the region fully during his lengthy military campaigns, and was forced to settle for a nominally autonomous kingdom, led by its own king, existing inside the borders of his own empire. Arid and open compared to Constantinople's lush density, Cappadocia is best known to outsiders for its 200 underground cities and villages, a few of which once housed and sheltered populations of over 10,000 people between the years 600 and 1400 BCE. Literally carved into the soft rock prevalent throughout the region, these cities were fully functioning colonies comprised of hundreds of narrow tunnels and caverns connecting dozens upon dozens of rooms, including living quarters, chapels, granaries, kitchens, wine and oil presses, ventilation shafts, and stables. The largest of these cities, Derinikuyu, was built to a depth of 85 meters and consisted of 11 interlocking levels with more than 50 ventilation shafts. Beginning in the 13th century, when the Byzantine Empire was crumbling and the emperors could no longer protect their subjects living on the ever-shrinking borders of their kingdom, wayward Christians took to living in the hidden cities for extended periods to stay hidden from encroaching Muslim populations. It's unclear when these cities were eventually abandoned, but it is likely that small populations occupied them in some capacity up until very recently, when the majority of the cities still intact were turned into tourist attractions. I know I'm just going through these because I happen to have them. We've only got 3 more. Constantinople. Founded in 658 BCE on First Hill, Byzantium began life as a modest walled-in city-state populated by Doric Greeks. Its founder was Byzas, a soldier rumored to have been the son of Poseidon and the nymph Charoessa. A devout man, Byzas had chosen the site of his new city based on a promising prophecy uttered by the oracle of Apollo at Delphi. From its earliest days, Byzantium was an isolated colony, a so-called island of Hellenic civilization in a sea of bi-barbarian tribes, although its popular reputation as a raucous port town full of drunk merchants and sots typically outshined its credentials as a locus of culture. As the playwright Menander wrote in his now-lost play, The Flute Girl, Byzantium makes all of her merchants drunkards. A whole night through we were drinking, and methinks 'twas very strong wine, too. At any rate, I awoke with a head for 4. In later centuries, a Greek civilization dwindled and receded, Byzantium's inhabitants diversified, and its rulers came and went in a rotating lineup of hopeful shepherds. Spartans, Macedonians, Athenians, and Romans all took their turns lording over the small city in First Hill. Then, in 324 CE, the Roman Emperor Constantine, inspired by a vision from God, he claimed, moved the capital of the Roman Empire to Byzantium and, once settled, set about rebuilding it to its strict specifications, and in grandeur and panache befitting a Roman emperor. When construction was finished in 330 CE, he had the city rechristened Nova Roma Constantinopolitina, New Rome, City of Constantine. Native-born city dwellers continued to call the city Byzantium for many generations, but gradually its colloquial name, Constantinopolis, caught on, as did New Rome, since the men who ruled the city still thought of themselves as Romans living in the Eastern Roman Empire. The moniker Byzantine Empire is a more contemporary term that gained popularity sometime after the Ottoman conquest of the city. For over 800 years, Constantinople served as the capital of the transformed Roman Empire, keeping alive a commonwealth that had all but withered in the West under the weight of barbarian attacks and economic hardship. Throughout the Middle Ages, Constantinople burned brightly compared to the darkness that engulfed the rest of Europe, though it too suffered its share of turmoil. In 1204, the city was captured by a Latin army shortly after Pope Innocent III blessed the Vatican's fourth and final Christian crusade, but the Latins' brief tenure led to an influx of Venetian and Genoese merchants who took up residence on the south and north side of the Golden Horn respectively. God, this is a long entry. In 1261, Michael Palaiologos, Greek heir to the Byzantine throne, marched on Constantinople and won a decisive victory. But the city he had recaptured was faltering, and the empire he now controlled possessed a mere fraction of its former land and influence. Thus began the 200-year decline of a once great city. And though Constantinople continued to flourish as a cultural center, thanks in large part to a healthy system of arts patronage from wealthy residents, the city's population rapidly dwindled. Okay, how long is this? Okay, just 2 more paragraphs. By 1397, it was clear the city's days as the Byzantine capital were numbered. To the north, east, and south, the Ottoman Empire was expanding and gaining strength, squeezing the city like a ripe grape. The Byzantine emperors of this era pleaded with leaders in Western Europe for aid, but ongoing wars and the complicated feelings held by the Catholic West concerning their Orthodox cousins led only to a series of half-hearted gestures and weak alliances. At long last, in 1453, the invasion so many Byzantines had feared for nearly a century came to pass. Led by Sultan Mehmet II, Mehmet the Conqueror as he was later known, a massive Ottoman army marched to the walls of Constantinople and laid siege. From that day forward, the Ottoman Turks ruled the city, and they made it their first priority to restore the city to its former glory. With the sultans adopting a tolerant position with respect to religion, the city became more attractive to all kinds and creeds, and over the next 100 years its population increased tenfold, from 40,000 to 400,000. Constantinople, now called Istanbul by a large number of its residents, was back on the map and destined for greatness once again. And Greek fire. For centuries, the Byzantine Empire used Greek fire during naval battles. This gave them a great technological advantage and was responsible for many key military victories, such as the salvation of Constantinople in 1203 from 2 Arab sieges. Incendiary weapons were used in warfare for centuries before the invention of Greek fire, but what set the Byzantine Greek fire apart was its unique formula, which would continue burning even underwater, and the use of pressurized siphons to project the liquid onto the enemy ships. Some consider the Greek fire the predecessor of modern napalm. The ingredients, the processes of manufacturing, and the precise deployment of Greek fire were extremely well-guarded military secrets. Knowledge and fabrication of the substance were highly divided, with operators and technicians aware of the secrets of only one component, ensuring that no enemy could gain knowledge of it in its entirety. For instance, some Bulgarians captured 36 Greek fire siphons in the early 9th century, but were unable to make any use of them. Yeah, I do wonder about that. And thieves, because random. Following the example of legitimate craftsmen, like miners, stonecutters, masons, and hangmen, many thieves in the Ottoman Empire were members of organized guilds, most of which were well known to the police on account of the frequent bribes and tributes the thieves paid to keep the authorities off their backs. The thieves were also mindful to target foreigners as often as possible so as to not upset locals, which proved quite easy in cosmopolitan Constantinople. It must also be noted that the line between crook and cop was very porous in those days, as many of the police chosen to keep watch on the thieves were themselves former members of the larcenous classes. Bomb Codex? So, there's a whole load of bombs and traps here, I guess. That's a lot of them. I'm not going to look at them right now. Locations. Okay, those are all missing locations. People, we've only got the 2. Contacts, we only have the 2, and we've gone through all the entries. Okay. Current objective, make your way to Masyaf Center Keep. Full synchronization, kill a Byzantine Templar with a counter kill. Well, I'm definitely going to work on that, but I'm going to try and do that in the next episode. This first one was kind of a mess, because I didn't expect it to be so glitchy at the beginning, which was solved by deleting a specific file. Next episode will actually get started with things without the incredible glitching that's going on. Till then, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Ezio Auditore. This has been Let's Play of Assassin's Creed Revelations, and I shall see you all next time.